What up, what up? I'm back. I'm coming out of video retirement. I know it's been a while. Motherfuckers been asking when the video coming. Niggas thirsty and shit. But I'm a busy man, you know. I got a young seed, full-time job. I can't be making videos every day, but I'm back. We gonna do a whole new series. Niggas know I've been changing my pattern, so everybody keep asking me how I'm brushing my hair, so I'm gonna cover that in this video. Because that's not something I really can explain in words. Unless I show you, you're not really going to get it, so I'm going to show you. And we're gonna talk about what a basic brushing session is for me. You know, I have 3 different types of brushing session. I have the basic brushing session, which is just straight hair training. Straight training. And I have my quick brushing session, and that's what I do when I'm just chilling in the crib, and then I got to go somewhere, you know, and I just need to get it laid down. So I can throw the do-rag or sue-rag, as I see. I cop the sue-rag on for a little while so I can, you know, get it laid down before I got to get to where I got to get. And then I got the, you know, my quick brushing sessions where I just grab a brush here and there throughout the day and get a couple strokes in. We're going to talk about a basic brushing session today. Then we're going to cover my brushing pattern, so let's get into it. I start out my brushing session. And for me, a brushing session is time you put aside in your day to brush your hair. It's not like, oh, here, let me take a brush real quick. And it's like, I plan to brush for a half hour, or I plan to brush for an hour. This is a lifestyle. This is something you got to work at. You can't just, you know, brush here and there and think you're going to achieve the results that you want. You got to put your time in. You got to put your work in. My brushing sessions, 30, 40 an hour brushing sessions and put my time in. You know, it's like getting in shape. You can help yourself to get in shape by doing things like taking the stairs instead of the elevator, but ultimately you got to go to the gym and work out. You got to put your time in. It's the same thing when you're trying to get waves. You got to put your time in. It's a lifestyle, not a hairstyle. So ultimately, I start my brushing sessions off with getting my hair wet with hot water, because that'll soften it up. It's going to open up your pores. You know, depending on the day, I may use a hot towel, or I may just put some hot water on my head and blot it dry, you know. So I start off by getting it nice and wet, softening my hair. Then from there, I'm going to go in with my softy. Crown brush, soft. You know, you use whatever brush you use, whatever brush you got. But I told y'all niggas, I ultimately use crown brushes exclusively now. Exclusively, I use crown brushes. I smarten up, close the market up, for real. I don't need no other brushes. I go on my softy when my hair is really wet for a couple reasons. Reason number 1, we know that hot water ruins your bristles. But we brushing with a softy. Bristles are already soft, so we're not doing too much damage. Another reason, when your hair is wet and hot, it makes it softer, and it also makes it weaker. You start brushing really wet hair with a hard brush, you're going to break your hair. You're going to split your ends. Oh yeah, we got to worry about split ends too. Or if you're really trying to get waves, you need to start getting some hair knowledge. Learn about hair. Do some reading on hair. So I go on with my softy. I also feel like I get a good reaction out of my softy when my hair is really wet. So I brush my hair until it's damp with my softy. We're talking 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how wet my hair is, depending on whether I use the hot towel or not, because, you know, your hair is not going to be as wet if you use a hot towel, but I go on my softy. I brush my hair till it's damp. Then I'm going to grab my moisturizer. Now, I could hold up a moisturizer and be like, yeah, this is what I put in my hair, but I use different shit at different times. It's like I said before, learn your hair. Your hair's not going to react the same way all the time. There's different factors that come into play when you're trying to get a certain result out of your hair. How hot it is, how cold it is, how dry it is, how wet it is. And you got to cater to that. So I have different products I use and different things that I do depending on if I'm wolfing, how long I've been wolfing, if my hair is short, if I just got a cut, You got to learn that type of shit. You're not going to be able to do the same thing with most people. I can't say you not, because, you know, it'll work. There's exceptions to every rule. But for me, I can't do the same thing every day and achieve the same results. I use different moisturizers at different times. I use different moisturizers with different products for hold. Learn what works for you. For example, I know for me, CES works really well with Spinning Classic. The combination of those two products work well for me. But if I don't plan on using Spinning Classic, I might use another moisturizer that's going to work better on my pomade days. Because y'all know I only use pomade every 2, maybe 3 days. You know, find the combination of things that work for you. I don't know how much more simple I can make it. So, reason I copped the Surag, 2 reasons. First reason, I felt like it would help with my wave transition, okay? Because I was finding that I go through my brushing session, get everything into place, get my products in, and everything is brushed in, you know. Off topic, make sure you're brushing your products in consistently. You know, you want the product to cover each strand of hair from root to tip. The whole strand of hair. You know, that's why people get them greasy spots, them shiny spots in their pictures, or inconsistent shine. Brush your products in. But to get back on topic, I copped the Surag because I was finding that, you know, I go through my brushing session, get everything in place, especially in my back with the new pattern, and I'm pulling the back down to get it tight, and I'm pulling all my hair out of place. When I take it off, the back wasn't looking like it did when I put it on. And I felt like the Surag would help because you don't have to pull it down as much to get it tight. And it worked for me. It was a good idea. I have them sometimes. It was a good idea. Second reason I caught the Surag was for sleeping at night. Because, you know, when I put my do-rag in, I tie it up in the back. And I found that, you know, I got tired of sleeping on the knot. It was irritating me, the knot in the back of my head. And I wanted to alleviate that. So I caught the Surag. One complaint I found about the Surag is that if I don't put a stocking cap on top of it before I go to bed at night, it ain't gonna be there when I wake up. So that's the only complaint I got. But let's get back into this this brushing shit. After I get it nice and damp, I put my, you know, my moisturizer in, then I go in with my medium. I like to go in with my medium, brush my moisturizer in, brush it in nice and even, nice slow strokes, because you want, like I said, you want to brush that moisturizer in good, brush it in consistently, make sure it's an even coat in over your entire head. After I get my moisturizer in, I'm going to throw in my my product for hold, depending on the day. You know, could be a pomade, could be a Spinning Classic. It could be a day where I feel like I don't need nothing for hold, where I just use the moisturizer and that's that. I'm gonna grab my hard brush. I'm going with my hard brush. It's going to stretch your curl the most. It's gonna get all the kinks out of your hair, and it's gonna get all the hard to lay down parts to lay down. So I'll go on my hard brush. At this point, I've probably been brushing for a half hour at least. Then towards the end of my brushing session, I'm going to grab my softy again. Grab my softy, and I'm going to go over the whole thing again with my softy real quick, like 5 minutes, you know, 2, 3, 5 minutes. Almost no pressure. We just smoothing it all out. Motherfuckers asking, how you get that silky look? Your waves look so silky. Brush your hair with the soft brush at the end of every brushing session. Soft brush, almost no pressure. We just laying down any hair that's sticking up, and we smoothing out the whole pattern. Alright. Now that we discussed what a brushing session is for me, I'm going to pull the Surag off to show y'all niggas what we looking like, and then I'm going to break down my brushing pattern and show you how I achieve my swirl. This is not young wavy swirl. This is not 720 waves. I don't consider my waves 720 waves. It's not 540 waves. You know, you want 540 waves, you might gotta go get with another nigga, you know, watching another nigga videos to get 540 waves. You know, I just got 360 waves with a twist. It wasn't even something I really planned to do. it was just in cutting my hair, you know. Y'all seen the video, I cut it down. Brushing pattern, the natural growth pattern of my hair. I just brushed my hair the way it grows. I just watched it as soon as I started getting hair, and I'm like, oh wow, the hair is growing this way. I started brushing it that way, and in cutting my hair that low, I found that I was thinking my crown was in a different spot than it was. And that's why it always looked like shit. I always felt like the crown was the weakest part of my game. So I started brushing my hair where the way it grew from my crown, and it amounted to a swirl. So I just went with it and, you know, did what I had to do to try to enhance it, and I'm still trying to enhance it. So let me pull this suit rag off. Show y'all niggas what I'm looking like. That's our progress report. I'm still putting in my work. I'm not where I want to be, you know. Trying to get back to the point where my shit was dripping when I won Wave King. But it's a process. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, you know. Motherfuckers be asking me, how can I get waves by the prom? The prom's next week. Not going to happen. You know what I say? Not going to happen. Not going to happen. For real. You gotta put your time in. You got to put your work in. So I'm going to grab this softy, and we're going to go over my brushing pattern. I always start on my right side, and I told y'all before, always brush your hair in the same direction, in the same pattern. Brush your sides in the same order. You want to get a routine. You want to develop the muscle memory so that eventually you don't need a mirror to do it. You can brush your hair quick on the go. And you want to create consistent wave pattern. So I always start on my right side. And my right side, essentially, I brush it straight down. I got the brush straight horizontal, like this, handle out, and I'm brushing straight down. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you to brush to your temple. Now, there's a reason that I don't brush to my temple. And I've brushed to my temple in the past. My old pattern, I brushed to the temple or to the cheek. But there's a reason that I'm not doing that now, okay? Because I know when I get to my back right, I got to start swinging my hair around, okay? We're going to start swinging it towards the left. Now, if I'm brushing my front right to the temple, and then I get to my back right, and we're swinging it around, so essentially we're brushing it almost backwards, we're going to create a part in the hair. Right there. Because you're brushing this hair this way, and you're brushing this hair this way, and you're going to create a part right here. So I'm brushing my right side straight down because I know eventually I got to start blending that into the pattern that swings around. So we're brushing that straight down. Brush is vertical. Okay? Then we get to the top of the ear, and we're also brushing that down, but we're going to turn the brush a quarter turn. So now, the handle of the brush is pointing almost at my chin, and we're brushing that down. And that's how you're going to blend the front into the swirl in the back. Then we get to the back right, and we turn the brush a little bit more. Now we're brushing that down, but at the end of the stroke, we're sweeping it around. Down and around. Down and around. Down and around. Down and around. And we get to the back. And when I get to the back, unlike most people swirl in the back, they're going down on an angle. Down on an angle. With my swirl, my waves are a lot more vertical in the back than most people. So my brush stroke in the back is almost straight across. And I'm going to show you that. The closer I get to the left side of my head, the more straight across the stroke is going to be. Straight across. So we're going down here, then we get to here. Now we got to start swinging that hair across. Straight across, straight across. And that's how I brush my back and my back left. Now here's where it gets complicated. Here's the hard part that it took me a long time to develop this stroke. But now that I got it down, it's working for me. And essentially, what I'm doing here is, I'm starting here, brush at the tip of my crown, okay? And we start going straight across, but then we gotta swing that around so that it carries into the left side pattern. So it's like straight across, and then we swing it around. So straight across, and swing that around. Then my top, I'm brushing that straight down, but with the brush on an angle so that it's pushing my hair to the, although I'm not brushing my hair to the right, it's pushing my hair to the right. And that is what keeps you from creating the part right here and fades this straight stroke into your straight down stroke. And then I always finish it with my right side straight down. And that's it. That's my brushing pattern. It ain't nothing special, just consistent brushing. You can brush your hair however you want, make it wave however you want. You're not going to move your crown. Your crown is where it is when you're born with it. But as long as you're brushing around your crown, you can make your hair wave however you want. 720 waves, 540 waves, 360 waves. Create some new waves. Create a new pattern. You know, do whatever you want. Be unique. With that being said, we're going to end this video right here. I'll be back in a week or so, and we'll cover something different. If there's something out there y'all think y'all want me to cover, get at me. Send me a message. Give me an idea, you know. Sometimes when I go a long time without making videos, because I ain't got nothing new for you. I'm doing the same shit, but if there's something you want me to reiterate on or something you want me to be more specific on, get at me. I'm willing to, you know, teach y'all niggas whatever you want to know. Share the knowledge that I have, because knowledge is power. And we gonna get through this. Get at me on my Facebook, Kurt White, YouTube, DSMBK1. You can holler at me on the Crown Quality Products page, 360 Wave Brush Facebook, or get at me on the Crown Quality Instagram, which is Crown Quality Pro 1. Follow us, we follow back. Other than that, man, you want something specific, send me a message. You want some one-on-one time with me, get at me, you know. I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. It is what it is, and just get at me. I'm out.